Fellow Nigerians, my name is Benedict Olomu, and I welcome you to this broadcast. If you're a Nigerian and you check your account balance right now and it's above 500,000 naira, congratulations to you, because according to CBN and according to NDIC data, you are one of only a few 0.6% of Nigerians that have above 500,000 naira in their account right now. That is how horrible things have become. In context, it means that 99.4% of Nigerians that have account in banks have less than 500,000 naira. That is an indication of the level of poverty that we have in our country right now. But of course, that is the reason why NDIC only insures 500,000 naira and below. So if your money in banks and that bank fails today, guaranteed, according to NDIC's insured sum, you're guaranteed to have 500,000 naira back. No more, no less. If your money is above 500,000, then of course, when NDIC manages to liquidate the assets of the bank, then if they can give you above that. But guaranteed, if your money is less than 500,000 naira today in the bank and the bank goes down, NDIC will give you your money back guaranteed. That's how they see it. But how do I see it? And what does it really mean for the rest of Nigerians? It means that there's a lot of poverty in the land. This figure used to be 3% of Nigerians or 97% of Nigerians having less than 500,000 naira in their account in 2019. It fell to 2% or 98% of Nigerians having less than 500,000 naira in their account in 2022. And right now in 2024, the information we have from CBN and NDIC is that that figure has dropped to 0.6%, or 99.4% of Nigerians having less than 500,000 naira in their account. There is a whole lot of implication for this statement. And that is why beginning today, April 1, 2024, we are going to be calling upon you. I say we because it's not just me. We are going to be calling upon you as frequently as possible. Even if it's going to be on an hourly basis or on a daily basis, we are going to call upon you to begin to do things differently. Yes, we need to start to do things differently. If not, things will only get worse. This is not to come to attack Tinubu's administration. I have no interest in that. For one reason only: abusing the administration of Tinubu, insulting him, will not do anything. This was where we were. We abused the hell out of him. And he said it himself. Before the election, did he manage to get himself into office or not? He still managed to do it. And right from May 29 till date, we have managed to hurl all manner of insults on the Tinubu administration, abuse him, curse him, do all manner of things. Has it improved anything? No. Has it made him change his ways in any way? No. So, what does that tell you? As a Nigerian that is living in Nigeria right now, it is time for us to begin to do things differently. And that is where we come in. What are the things that we need to begin to do differently? As a Nigerian, what are the things that we need to begin to do differently? Is it time for us to begin to call for revolution? Well, if that revolution will be a bloodless revolution, it will not involve needless loss of lives. But which revolution do you know that can be bloodless? There is a mental revolution that needs to take place. We need to begin to do things differently. Like I asked before, what are those things that we need to begin to do differently? Number one, if you are a Nigerian and you are living in Nigeria and you don't have food to eat, and you check your pocket, you check your account balance, you don't have money to buy food, and the next thing that comes to your mind is either to go and beg or to go and to log on to your phone if you have one to take online loan, or to look for one member of your church to help you, or you are thinking that one politician will just give you palliative, or the worst of them all, you are thinking of praying to God to help you. I am here to tell you, perish that thought. If you don't have food to eat, don't pray to God for food. God will not give you food. If, in case you don't know, in the Bible it says that whoever does not work, let him not eat. So praying to God for food is even unbiblical. So don't do it. What should you do instead? Hold your government accountable. The primary responsibility of government, the reason why governments are set up everywhere in the world, it is for security and welfare of their citizens. That is all. Every other thing is just for checks and balances. So, a government is like a father to the children in a family. A government is like the father to the children and the wife in the family. So if we say that a father who is not able to provide for his own family, his wife and children, if we say that father is an irresponsible father, in fact, the Bible says that that father should not even call himself a believer. That is worse than an unbeliever. If that father is irresponsible, how would you call a government that is not able to provide food for his citizens or her citizens? That government is an irresponsible government. A very big irresponsible government. So, check the government that we have today. Is it an irresponsible government? Your guess is as good as mine. So, am I saying that you should come out and begin to call the Tinubu administration irresponsible? Is that what I am calling for? No! Because coming to call the Tinubu administration irresponsible is a big waste of time. He will not listen. He did not listen during the election. What makes you think that he is going to listen now? So if I am not saying that you should come and insult Tinubu and call the government of Tinubu irresponsible, what am I asking you to do? There are things that we can do. Right now, we need to begin to take action. The first thing that we need to do is we need to institutionalize food and welfare in Nigeria by doing one thing. You must begin to support this social welfare law in Nigeria that we are proposing. I will leave a link to that law in the description of this video. Don't just waka pass. You must join it. All of us now, it is time for us to put our numbers to use. Just coming online and shouting the Tinubu has failed us, the APC has failed us, it's not enough anymore. Because while we are doing the shouting, they are busy weaponizing ethnicity, busy weaponizing religion, busy weaponizing entertainment, weaponizing music, weaponizing sports, weaponizing football, weaponizing comedy, weaponizing movies, weaponizing leisure and recreation, weaponizing all of it to continue to divide us and distract us so that they can perpetuate their draconian, wicked policies over us. We spoke the other time and somebody said every senator and every representatives in the National Assembly must not return in 2027. Yes, I agree, but how can we achieve that when they continue to weaponize poverty and weaponize hunger? Now they are talking about palliatives. They are talking about palliatives for 200 million Nigerians, palliatives. And then they bring out palliative that is not even enough for 1 million people. And then 20 million people gather. What do you expect to happen? Of course, there will be stampede. Of course, people will lose their lives. Yes. So palliative is a satanic venture that any government should not even venture in. Palliatives. What is that? Do you see palliatives in America? Do you see palliatives in Europe? Do you see palliative in UK? Do you see palliative in China? Do you see palliative in Russia? No. Their social welfare program is well institutionalized. It is not a gamble. It is not a casino. It is not, oh, we have 200 million Nigerians that are hungry. Oh, we are only able to provide 10 million food. So what should happen to the remaining 190 million? What should happen to them? This is why you have stampedes when they distribute their so-called palliatives. Palliatives that even is a means of corruption. Yes, because whatever monies are allocated to those palliatives, it's only a fraction of it that actually goes into that palliative. And don't take my word for it. Just search online. You will see people like Obasanjo even saying the same thing. So it is not news. It is open to all for all to see. So what should we do? We need to institutionalize our own welfare. I used the example of America the last time. America is a capitalist country. But no country in the world is as socialist as America. Not even communist China. Not even Russia. No country in the world is as socialist as America. Their social welfare system, top notch, all manner. Just go to the website, benefits.gov. Benefits with the S.gov. You will see all their programs in there. One that strikes me the most is not even the unemployment benefit. It is not the disaster benefit. It is the Supplementary Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP. That program guarantees that every citizen of the United States of America that cannot feed himself, all he needs to do is to log on to this website and register his social security number. Once that is done, the government is able to use the social security number to check the credit status of that citizen. If it is found that that citizen really does not have money to feed himself, provision is made. It is not a gamble. Provision is made. We need to begin to move in this direction. And the only way to do that is to pass a law that is clearly in favor of the people, where the terms and conditions of our social welfare system is clearly stated. I have dropped a draft of that law in the description of this video. You must come out and support this law. If not, we are going nowhere. Elections in Nigeria cannot be free and fair if we do not implement this law. We must force it on the National Assembly. We can. If we get only 100,000 people to occupy the front of the gates of the National Assembly, they will pass the law. If we get 10,000 people to occupy the gates of our state houses of assembly, they will pass the law. And we do not need to fight to achieve it. Peaceful protest. And if you think that is too hard, start with online petition. We'll start the online petition. Add your name to it. It doesn't cost you anything. At least nobody will come and shoot you in your house for signing an online petition if it is fear death that you are afraid of. But act we must. Beginning from today, April 1, 2024, we must begin to act. So wherever you are in Nigeria, outside of Nigeria, watching this broadcast, please do one thing. Contribute your quota to this law. This is our starting point. This is our starting point. Contribute your quota. Share this broadcast. Talk to other people about it. And there are other things that we require you to do in this broadcast. Please, let's come together. Let's put our numbers to use. Enough is enough of all these worst of us ruling over us. It pains me to my heart. And every day we keep complaining, and things keep getting worse. And they come and speak all manner of grammar for us. Come on. It's time for all of this nonsense to stop. So the first thing that I said, we need to institutionalize the social welfare for Nigerians. Stop praying to God for food. Hold your government accountable. Hold your government accountable. Hold your government accountable. From the federal government to the state government to the local government. Hold them accountable. You as a Nigerian, living in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, who is the chairman of your local government? Do you even know? Meanwhile, every month, this local government chairman collects money. And in an arrangement between them and the state governors, some of them, as it has been alleged, some of them, they have arrangement. The state government collects the money does not even get to the chairman. We are told that somehow the local government chairman just signed for half, for some portion of it, and then the governor will allow them take the ones they will go and eat, and then the money goes back to the governors. That's what we hear. Whether that is true or not, Nobody knows. But what we see as reality on the ground is the fact that no programs on the ground, nothing for the people to see. This nonsense must stop, and it requires you and I to come together to contribute our quota. Pardon my tense nature. I am very, very pained. The things that I hear, they just make me pained. When I think about Nigeria, it makes me want to cry. But I will not cry, because that will be shedding tears for people who don't deserve it. These low-cost leaders that we have, they don't deserve our tears. They don't deserve our cry. They don't deserve our insult. In fact, it's a waste of time for us to insult them. We need to take action. And like I said, the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that we pass that social welfare law. Number 2 thing that we need to do is that we need to tackle the leadership problem in Nigeria. We all agree that leadership is the problem of Nigeria. So, why is it that the same leaders that we complain about continue to find themselves in the same position of power, despite all our complaints? How does it happen? It starts from the political party. It starts from the political party. The political parties in Nigeria are the recruitment homes, the recruitment centers for bad leadership. So, it's either we specify a set of criteria that political parties in Nigeria must abide by, or we come together using our numbers to start a fresh political party. We can do it with clearly stated ideologies. Number 1, it will be clearly stated in the constitution of this new political party that you and I should come together to form very easily. All we need is representatives across the 8,000 wards in Nigeria, across the 774 local government. We just need representatives. Across each of these local government, across the over 8,000 wards in Nigeria, across every polling unit, there are poor people. There are people who are not able to feed themselves. Those are the people that we need to reach out to, and we can reach out to them. We can reach out to them. So part of the things that we need to do is to clearly spell out our ideologies. And part of those ideologies will include things like: 1, nobody can run for any elective office on the platform of this our new political party if the person has not joined the party for at least 1 year. What this condition will do is it will prevent money bags. It will prevent cash and carry politicians, disgruntled elements from other political parties like the APC and the PDP, and even including the Labour Party. It will prevent them from losing their primaries in their respective political parties and then bringing their shenanigans into this our fresh political party. Because you have to, first of all, have stayed in the political party for at least 6 months. 1 year. And in that 1 year, we will take you through programs that will acquaint you with the ideologies of the political party. And you must agree with it, because in that same constitution, there will be clearly defined disciplinary measures, which will include recall for errant public officers that are elected on the platform of the political party. So we must include this condition as a matter of necessity. That's number 1. Number 2, in fact, for nomination fees for this our political party, it cannot be more than, let me pause this. See, there's no light for me to on AC. So we're running solar. That's why I'm sweating like this. But hopefully, by the time you and I do what we need to do, we can get a government in place that will make this a thing of the past. Yes, so we're talking about starting a fresh political party with clearly stated ideologies, rules, and regulations that included things like the minimum number of time a person can join the party before the person can become elected, which we have put at 1 year. Right? Then, secondly, we put it there that the person will undergo a sensitization, yes, program for about 2 to 3 weeks so that the person will become acquainted with the rules and regulations of the party. Then after that, the mode of primaries will be direct primaries only, not consensus, not, what is it called? Not indirect, except when, of course, you only have one candidate. Then you can have that candidate even compete against others, like they do in America. When it is only one candidate, they will now put others there. Yes, we can do that. So, but the question of saying that because you can do consensus, no. Those are the beginning of corruption at the political parties. We need to start this political party thing, you know. It's a thing that we must do if really we are serious about fixing this country. And I know you are serious about fixing it. Because right now, it is only the people that are benefiting from the corruption in Nigeria that will not want things to change. And they are very few. They are not up to 6 million no, out of the over 220 million of us. So I'm not counting on those people. Those people can go online and say all manner of rubbish for all I care. They can say things like, oh, it's not possible. They always try to drive that narrative to make you think that it's not possible. But my friend, my brothers, my sisters, fellow compatriots, it is very possible, and it's not only possible, it is very easy. We just need to organize. So the political party, part of the conditions that will be clearly defined, the ideologies, is that, look, the maximum amount that can be allowed as nomination fee for any elective position will not be more than 50,000. It can be less, even for the office of president. And as you go down, the lesser the figure. We need to open up the place, the space to everybody. Everybody who has worked in the civil service of Nigeria, who is not part of the 0.6% of the civil servants that have ruined the country. Because people make a mistake of thinking that, oh, the civil servants have destroyed the country. No! A very tiny portion of the civil servants have destroyed the country. The majority of the civil servants are suffering as much as the rest of Nigerians. So, every civil servant, those who have not had access to the pie in the civil servant, who have put in 35 years, they should be able to bring their wealth of experience to work for Nigeria. They should be able to. And they don't need to have 30 million before they can run for governor in a party like the Labour Party that claims to be a party for workers. You don't need to have 30 million. How many workers in Nigeria, or what percentage of workers in Nigeria can raise 30 million in their whole 35 years of service? Not to talk of raise 35 million to buy form and spend maybe times 10 of that for the campaign and electioneering process. How many workers in Nigeria can do that? So part of the things that we're going to do in this, our political party that you and I must form, is that the nomination fee cannot be more than 50,000 naira, so that it is accessible to everybody. Let the competition come. I know some of you want to argue, those of you who don't want this to change. Those evil people with evil mind benefiting from the corruption in the system. I know they will tell you that, oh, it will be hard to conduct the primaries because if you make it 50,000, then every Tom, Dick, and Harry can come. Let every Tom, Dick, and Harry come. Let them come and debate their ideas before the people. Let's open up the space, and it will not be hard to conduct that primaries. The only thing that makes primaries difficult in Nigeria is because politicians want to work towards an answer. That's the only thing that makes primaries difficult. If you have 1 million people that are members of a political party, if you want that election to be free and fair, and you don't want to rig the system, that primaries will be done easily. So let nobody come and cajole anybody to say that, oh, if it is direct primaries, it will cost a lot of money. It will not cost a lot of money to run that primaries. In fact, it can be run with zero money, 0 naira. If the intentions of the persons are fair. And of course, this new political party that we want to form, it will be a party that is based on purely ideology. So freeness and fairness of primaries will be one of the ideologies. So it will be easy for us to run that direct primaries because the register of the membership will be open to public, to Nigerians to access. to members of the political party that are interested in running for public office. It will be open to them. So, what are we afraid of? Nothing. Nothing. We must do this thing, no? If we don't do it, nothing will change. I am telling you, if we don't do it, nothing will change. And let nobody come and deceive you that it cannot be done. It can be done. I am very, very convinced that it can be done. Don't let your pastors come and tell you that we need to pray. We don't need to pray. We need to take action. I've told you before. Stop praying to God for food. God cannot give you food because you prayed, though. In the Bible, it is spelled out clearly. It is your government that must give you food because it is clear. A government that cannot provide for its citizens is like a father that cannot provide for his children. That father is an irresponsible father. So it is your responsibility, you and I, to make sure that our government is responsible. Have you even noticed something about the government that we have in Nigeria today? When we say that the primary responsibility of government is welfare and security of the people, yet the majority of the people are not getting the welfare and the security. Have you noticed that the people in government, these corrupt and wicked politicians, have you noticed that they use the same government for their own welfare and security? They are using 160 million naira to buy bulletproof car. That's security. They use government money for allowances for private police for themselves. That's security. They give themselves allowances. That's welfare. The welfare that is even supposed to be for the people, they connive to use majority of it for themselves in the name of constituency project, in the name of conditional cash transfer. Not according to me. Don't take my words for it. Take the words of Olusegun Obasanjo for it. They use government for their own welfare and security. Meanwhile, when it gets to us, they tell us government cannot do it. Enough is enough. We must begin to take action. I think I'll take care of this the next time. I will not be sweating like this. Maybe I'll just arrange. Instead of depending on only solar, I'll also depend on generator so that I can put on the AC and I will not be sweating like this. But please, Nigerians, we need to take action. Instead of praying to God, in fact, part of the things that we need to do very, very quickly, I'll leave an account number in the description. Pay your tithe there. Pay your tithe there because that money, we want to use it to begin to take care of all of these things that we're talking about now. We need to start this political party that is for all Nigerians. Pay your tithe there because when we succeed with this political party, we will bring up the right leadership for all Nigerians, that we make food available, that we implement this law, this free food and social welfare law that we're talking about now, that we implement it. So pay your tithe into that account. Yes, and the name of the account is, what is it again now? What is the name of the account? Royal Purple Bee Foundation. Royal Purple Bee Foundation. The account number is in the description, or I probably will flash it maybe in the post-production of this video. Royal Purple Bee Foundation. The account number is there. Pay your tithe in there. Let's use your tithe. Those of you who go to mosque, contribute your money into that place. It is not the corrupt politicians in government that should be responsible for the welfare of the people. Because all they do is they weaponize hunger and poverty. They weaponize even this help. Out of 100 million people, they will give help to 1,000 people, leave the remaining majority hungry, and they will say they have helped. Meanwhile, the bulk of the money that would have taken care of the remaining 999 million people, they keep it to themselves. And you see, the annoying thing is that if they even keep this money in Nigeria and they use it to start factories that employ our youth, that create jobs, it will not even be bad. But they will take this money and use it to buy dollar and hide that money outside of Nigeria. So in addition to doing us bad, they are creating unemployment for us. We must stop this. And this is no joke. Today is April 1, 2024. April 1. Beginning from today, I have said it. I will dedicate my time. I will dedicate my energy. This is my work now. For the past few months, I've not been able to come online because for one reason or the other, I've always been engaged. One work will come out, one contract will come out here, taking my time. But I found out that this work is more noble. The other ones, I can put people in charge. In fact, I will leave people to be running them for me. This one, we must do it because It is not even for the sake of the Nigerians that are hungry. It is because the people that are making us hungry, they are the Europeans and the Americans. They are the Chinese. The Russians have not found their way yet to benefit from us like they are benefiting from other countries. But you see the Chinese, you see the Europeans, you see even the Middle East, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, you see UK. They are taking advantage of us. I am very, very sure that when they are meeting and Nigerian leaders are not there, I am very, very sure that they will be laughing at our Nigerian leaders. They will be laughing at our Nigerian leaders because they see, it is clear to them that Nigerian leaders, as we have it today, they don't care about the citizens. They only make rubbish deals that benefit those other countries just because they can just get more money that they can put in their own personal pocket, using the public office and the public power that we have given them for personal gains. All that nonsense must stop beginning from today. So, like I said, pay your tithe, pay your offering, contribute to this cause. We need to start building centers where we'll engage people, entrepreneurs. If government will not do it, we can do it. If government will not do it, we can do it tentatively. We can set up technological hubs. With this, your offering and your tithe, we'll set up technological hubs where we teach children, we teach our youth how to make money online, how to do computer-aided design and manufacturing, how they can use lathe machines to begin to manufacture small components that we can even begin to export. We can start that. Those are low-hanging fruits that we can start today. But our government will not do it. We're supposed to have a national technology incubation center. It's not working. Every year, money is allocated to them. We don't see what they use the money for. So if government will not do it now, we will do it for ourselves. Pending when is election time, 2027, they must hear them. No corrupt politician who fails to implement policies that are beneficial to the people will return in 2027. By the special grace of God, inshallah, inshallah Jesus, inshallah Shongo, inshallah everything. Because it will not be religion they will use to divide us. It will not be ethnicity they use to divide us. All their gimmicks, using music, using comedy, using football, using movies, all those things, they are failed. We will take our destinies in our hand in 2027. And it starts with what we are doing here today. We have said two things. The first one is for us to push for the enactment of the Free Food and Social Welfare Law. Number two, we have said that we have to start a new political party that will do what? That will have clearly defined ideologies. We can do it. It is time for us to put our numbers into use. The number of Nigerians that are suffering are way more than the numbers of Nigerians that are enjoying the corruption in this system. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. We cannot shout and abuse our way out of this. We need to take action. We need to take action. And part of the things that we need to do, I've said it, we need to begin to set up food banks. Work with the ones, churches that have existing ones. We need to work with them. See, for those of you that say that giving out money will cause inflation, it will not. Because the way the Free Food and Social Welfare Law is set up is such that the first thing that will happen is we set up a website. And in that website, any Nigerian citizen who is not able to buy food for himself will first of all go there and register. And once that citizen registers, their NIN is captured, their BVN is captured. If they don't have account, that is an opportunity for us to get them to have accounts. That is an opportunity for us. So the excuse that not all Nigerians have bank account, that excuse is not tenable. So we create the website, benefits.gov.ng for Nigeria, and then every Nigerian can go there and register. Once they register, and you use the BVN information and the NIN information to ascertain that really those people are not able to cater for themselves, what do? We give them a benefit card. We give them a benefit card. That benefit card will have their NIN number and their BVN tied to it. And it is that benefit card that is like ATM card. In fact, you can call it an ATM card. But it is a special ATM card that we call the Nigerian benefit card, or the Eagle benefit card, or the Green benefit card, or the Nigerian Citizens benefit card. We call that special ATM a benefit card. And when we put money in that benefit card, that money can only be spent in designated location and can only be spent on buying food. So the monies that we really put in that benefit card is actually monies that we can now tailor to Nigerian youth and Nigerian citizens through homegrown solution, homegrown agricultural solution. I'm not talking about investing in agriculture and we are going to buy tractors from Germany or buy tractors from Japan or buy tractors from China. No. Every time we invest in agriculture and we are buying fertilizer from Russia, we are buying fertilizer from Ukraine, we are buying this and we are wasting that money. The efficiency of that investment and the efficiency of agriculture is reduced to less than half, less than 50%. So when we're saying that we will put that money into agriculture, it is going to be in homegrown solutions. Homegrown solutions that will push 50 million Nigerians into agriculture. Don't tell me it cannot be done. It can be done. Just 2023 here, the Minister of Finance for India talked about how they were able to raise 700 million people out of poverty when they did transfers from the CBN directly into the account of 700 million citizens of India. And of course, you know, India has 1.4 billion plus people now. They are the most populous country in the world. Yet, they have less people living in multidimensional poverty than Nigeria with only 200 million. India is 7 times the population of Nigeria. 7 times. Yet, they have less amount of people living in multidimensional poverty. So whatever they are doing, we can do. If their own central bank can send money directly to these small businesses, those small businesses are what? In sectors, critical sectors, not all this rubbish that they come and do for us here. Critical sectors, manufacturing, in agric. So they send the money directly to them. And you see, there is a central organization that creates and coordinates homegrown solutions. So the money remains in India. That's what we need to do here. We can't say we are spending 500 billion naira on agriculture and that 500 billion naira goes out of the country. First, they will steal majority of it. The corrupt politicians or those who are in charge of the program, they'll go and hide the money out. Then the remainder is going out to go and buy equipment that will come back into Nigeria. That's where even the budget of Tinubu for 2024 is a failure. Because the so-called 28 trillion, maybe 1% or 2% of it will remain in Nigeria. The one that is not used to pay loan, that is going out, is used to pay salary. And that salary, what do Nigerians spend salary on? They buy car, they buy phone, they buy cloth, expensive cloth and jewelry from abroad. And where do those monies go? The money leaves. And the one that goes to project, look at the project. All the projects, if they say they are doing road, they are buying equipment, they are buying cars. Over 4 trillion. If you calculate all the monies that Nigeria are going to spend, Nigeria is going to spend officially on buying cars from Japan, those Toyota trucks, those Toyota Land Cruiser, and all those Mercedes-Benz, over 4 trillion naira for imported vehicles, monies that could have gone to supporting Enosin and Nord, so that they can create more vehicles here and do what? Bring down the prices and create jobs. Reduce unemployment. No, they won't do that. They're not interested. They're not interested. So we would execute this, our free food program, in such a way that the money goes to 50 million Nigerians. We can do it. They will collaborate, they will form groups and then share their knowledge and their skills. And then they grow these agricultural products, critical ones. In 6 months, we can have the first batch coming out, that we can become number 1 in oil production again. We can become number 1 in groundnut production. We can become number 1 in cocoa production. We can. We can. Without having to import anything. That's what the IMF and the World Bank does not want. That is why they keep scheming to make sure that it is the corrupt ones amongst us, the worst of us, that are thrown up and elected into public office. And they do all they can to divide us, spend money. This is where I blame CIA. There are so many citizens on the streets of Nigeria today that are agents of CIA and MI6. Nigerians that are supposed to be patriotic to their country, allowing themselves to be used against their country because they get a few dollars to buy some luxury car and buy houses abroad. No more. It is up to us, the rest of the citizens of Nigeria, to do the right thing, and we must do it. We must do it beginning from this 2021. Enough is enough. What is all this? All these low-cost leaders. It must stop. It must stop. So, where was I? Pay your tithe into the account that I said. Things must begin to change. Things must begin to change. If you have money to spare, I'm not saying use the money you're supposed to use to eat too. If you don't have money to eat, I'm not talking to you. You don't have to pay tithe. You don't have to pay offering. You don't have to contribute to this account that we're talking about. But if you are in Nigeria and you have capacity, you have some 10,000 naira you are not using again, that you are not using. You have some 1 million that you are not using. Please, pay it as your tithe. Don't pay your tithe to your church. Oh. Tithe is supposed to be used to provide food for people who cannot work. That's what tithe is meant for. So, unless your church is using the tithe solely for feeding people who don't have food, don't pay your tithe to your church. Pay your tithe into the Royal Purple Bee Foundation account. I've left it in the description. We are going to use it to now be feeding people. And what I've said, how we'll do it is how I have described. Start paying now. Start paying your tithe. If you must pay tithe. And like I said, if you not get money, you don't need to pay tithe. If you not get money, this program is supposed to help you. So I'm not going to tell you that, oh, pay tithe so that God will bless you. No. It is after God has blessed you, then pay tithe. And that tithe, I'm saying, don't pay that tithe into your church. Pay that tithe into the Royal Purple Bee Foundation for now. And subsequently, you contribute that tithe into the benefits fund account. Because part of the things that we have put into the social welfare and free food law is that we will have a social welfare fund. A social welfare fund where we will collect a percentage of the taxes from even FIRS, we collect a percentage of the monies from custom, we collect a percentage of the monies from crude oil, we collect a percentage from there. So we collect a percentage of those money, we put it in that fund. And that money, in fact, we will tax all those people who are importing luxury vehicles. You go to the garage of our politicians, you see Lamborghini, you see Ferrari. For what? Where do you want to drive the Ferrari? Where do you want to drive the Lamborghini? Yes, you live in Abuja. Can you drive the Lamborghini and do 200 kilometers per hour in Abuja? Which road do you want to do it? Which road? All these luxuries that the whites have used to kill our values just so that they can make sure that we continue to depend on them. All these things must stop. They must stop. Don't laugh at me that I'm sweating and drying myself like this. Don't laugh at me. It is a solution that is coming for Nigeria. Solution. And we must all come together to solve this country. This is not the time to say, oh, Igbo is the problem. Or the time to say Hausa is the problem. Or Yoruba is the problem. Look, no tribe is the problem of Nigeria. No tribe is the problem of Nigeria. Because in all of the tribes, there are poor people. In all of the tribes, you have political thieves. In all of them. People who collect monies that are supposed to make your life better. Look at the Niger Delta. With all the 13% derivation, and even though they are saying the 13% is not enough, even that 13% that they have given you, let's take a state like Delta State first. From 1999 to date, 13% derivation. What have you done with it? Even if it's only that they even steal this money, it will be okay. They will now borrow times 3, times 4. No. All this nonsense must stop. No tribe is the problem of Nigeria. I know they like to push bitterness, ethnic bitterness. Oh, the Igbos started the Igbo coup. Hey, they killed northern politicians. Hey. Then the Igbos will now come and say, the Igbos are marginalized. They killed us. They massacred us in Kano, in Makurdi, in 1967. Oh, in the Biafran War. Hey, they killed 3 million of us. Come on. You guys are not seeing the handwriting on the wall. The 1966 January coup, 1966 July coup, the 1967 Civil War, they were all manipulations of Britain and the United States of America and France. They are using your head to knock your head. That's what they were doing. So if there's anybody you will blame for the Nigerian Biafran War, Blame the Americans, blame the French, blame the British, blame the Europeans, blame the Chinese, blame the Israelis. Those are the people that you should blame. We need to, all those baggage of bitterness, ethnic bitterness and ethnic sentiments, we need to leave them behind. Because while we are talking marginalization, every time you have 5 governors in the southeast, what do the governors do? With the allocations they get on a monthly basis, what do they do? Thank God for what OT is doing now. The guy seems to be doing well, even though I know that he can do way more. But the little he has done so far is way more than all other governors are doing. 7 years, or is it 9 years of pensions, arrears, paid. Which means the Azu did not even pay a single thing in his full 8 years. Obiano, in fact, that one came, did whatever he did. At the end, all we just saw that the money that Peter Obi left behind went missing. The same day after handing over in the morning, in the evening, he was on his way out of Nigeria to go back to Texas. And you call him an Igbo man? He's not an Igbo man. He's an American. That's where he grew up. That's where all he just thinks is how he can use his money, come in Nigeria, run programs, and then take those monies back to where they belong, and that's it. We must close the door on those kind of politicians. We must close the door on those kind of politicians, and we will start by shutting the door on ethnic sentiments and religious sentiments. People make the mistake of thinking that Tinubu is a Muslim president, but Tinubu is not a Muslim president. Or that Akpabio is a Christian Senate president. Akpabio is not a Christian Senate president. These people don't know anything about religion. Is it the same Tinubu that could not recite common Muslim prayer during his campaign in Mina? These guys, they don't know anything about Islam. They don't know anything about Christianity. All they know is how to weaponize religion to divide us when it's election time, to divide us so that we'll be fighting each other instead of coming together to push them out of office. It's all social engineering. Psychological operations, psyops. That's what they are doing on us, and we must stop it. We must stop it. The time for a new Nigeria has come. We must stop it. I was talking about the second thing that we needed to do. We needed to, before I even talk about that second thing further, which is actually that we have to start a fresh political party. The first one is the social welfare law. We have to push it. There are some other laws that are going to be part of the constitution of our new party. Laws like anti-corruption, amnesty law. That law will prevent any government worker, not only government politicians or public service holder appointed or elected. Every government worker, no government worker should be allowed to buy properties abroad or save money abroad. If they are able to do that, that's conflict of interest. They don't have any reason to make sure that things work in Nigeria. They don't. How can you expect somebody like a Festus Keyamo, who could have used $600,000 that it is alleged, and he came out to even defend it himself, that he bought it with his own money, that is alleged that he used to buy house in America, house that I'm sure he has not stayed in that house this year. $600,000. You know what factories that will build in Delta State for the robo people, that will take the robos out of poverty? And somebody will come and tell me that Keyamo is an Urobo politician, an Urobo minister. He is not. Keyamo, with all his legal prowess, could not use it to help Delta State Warri refineries to work, to help Warri ports to work, to help Delta Steel Company to work. And he says an Urobo minister. He's not. These people do not know religion. They do not know tribe. And until we come to that realization, the problems will keep getting worse. This problem we don't reach. Enough is enough. We can't continue like this. And that is why you and I must begin to do what we want to do now. Don't forget to pay your title. The account is in the account description. We begin to do things differently. We begin to put these structures I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what will start in 2027. No. People are already hungry now. We need to begin to put things in place so that we can take away the loyalty of the people from corrupt politicians and place it in government. One of the biggest problems that we have had up till date is the fact that people are more loyal to corrupt politicians because of hunger, because of poverty, than they are loyal to the system, to institutions, to government. So we need to change that. Look, and this is criminal. In FCT, Wike gave rice to senior staff, bag of rice, this last December. In that bag of rice, they printed the picture of Wike, they printed the picture of Tinubu, they printed the picture of Shetima, they printed the picture of the Minister of State for FCT on the bag of rice. I can tell you that if they did not spend up to the amount of the bag of rice for the branding of that bag of rice, then they try. It is wrong enough that they are spending so much money to brand rice that they want to give out for free. The money that you're using to do the branding is enough to buy even almost equal amount of rice to increase the capacity and number of people they will give the rice to. It's enough, but no, they will not do it. They will rather use that money to do the branding. Why? So that the people who receive the bag of rice and the people who see the bag of rice being given to the people who receive it will think that it is Wike that did it, when it is actually government. So that is criminal. Femi Falana and the rest who are human rights lawyers should look into this. It is criminal. You cannot use government money to do palliative and you are printing your picture upon it as if you are the one that is doing the palliative. That's criminal. There has to be a law to send such people to jail. So Femi Falana, do your part too. And Femi Falana, we need you to join us in this movement. This is the movement that we need. It is not for us to be to be in despair, because I see and I hear the likes of Pat Utomi talking. He has given up. No, we will not let this corrupt system defeat us. We will defeat this corrupt system. And it starts by what I'm saying now. Christians, Muslims, wherever you are, you must stop paying your tithe or contribution to your church or your mosque. Pay it to the account that I put in the description below. We will use that money to begin to do things that will benefit the people, starting with the free food across the 774 local governments in Nigeria. And once we do that, we will free the people up and get them to be more loyal to the government than to the people. That's the only way election can even be free and fair in 2027. That's the only way. That's the only way. I trust that you will do it. I have spent almost, how many minutes now? 53 minutes ranting. Please bear with me. We need to do it. It's absolutely important that we do it. I don't regret this, my ranting. Don't make me regret it. We need to take these actions. We need to take these steps. This is not the time to pray. This is the time to walk. God will not give you food because you pray. And if you do not have food to eat, stop praying to God to give you food. Start doing the things that we are calling on you to do now so that we can get Nigeria out of where it is. Yes, I was talking about the things that will be enshrined in our political party's constitution, the new political party that we want to form. And by the way, at this point, I must call for suggestion. What do we call this name? I have some name in my head that I want to call, but I don't want it to come from me alone. I've asked some other persons that are working with us to also come with suggestions. You too, that is watching me, contribute your own quota. If it is the name that you can suggest a name. Look at the process and suggest a name that you think will work for this our new political party. Suggest a name. You must suggest a name. You can't be aloof. You must contribute to this process. Yes, you must contribute. So suggest a name, right? So part of the things that we need to put in this political party that we want to form is that there will be core laws that every member of the party must agree to. Those are called ideologies. Number one, they must subscribe to the free food and social welfare law that guarantees food for every unemployed and impoverished Nigerian. They must subscribe to it. That's one. Two, they must subscribe to the anti-corruption amnesty law that bans any government worker from storing money abroad and buying properties abroad. They must subscribe to it. Three, they must subscribe to the medical tourism prohibition law that bans any government official from going abroad for medical treatment. They must support the education tourism prohibition law that bans any government worker from sending themselves or their children to school abroad. And then they must support the small business law. Yes, we call it small business support. I can't remember the name exactly now. Those 5 laws, they must support it. Those are going to be part of the things that are going to be in the constitution. Those are part of the things that we will walk them through where we are doing their orientation, because every member of the party that will join this our new political party will go through that orientation, and we will inculcate in every member through various medium or media the principle of production and the principle of consumption. Right now we are on consumption. Tinubu and his special advisor, this Ingilale man, will come and say, oh, we should buy Nigeria, we should buy Nigeria. You did not give us electricity to reduce the production cost in Nigeria. The things that are produced in Nigeria are more expensive than things that are imported. And you are the ones that still goes to open the border and remove tariffs so that imported things can be cheaper than things that are produced locally. And you are the one coming to tell us that we should buy Nigeria. How? How? You make it more expensive for things to be produced in Nigeria. You make it by not providing electricity and putting tariffs on raw materials. You make it more expensive to produce things in Nigeria, more difficult. You make it cheaper by reducing tariff and even removing tariff and opening border for things to be imported into Nigeria. And then you now turn and tell Nigerians that they should buy made in Nigeria. Come on. And while you are telling us that, Mr. Ngilale, Tinubu is buying Benz in his presidential fleet. He is buying Range Rover in his presidential fleet. He is buying Land Cruiser in his presidential fleet. 2024 model. Nothing wrong with the 2019 model. It's still those a Land Cruiser. I have one Land Cruiser. It's a 2013 Land Cruiser. 2011, yes. Those cars are made to last for 20 years. And they bought one in 2019. And in 2023, you are buying another one. In fact, you guys could not wait for 2024 budget. You had to do supplementary budget to buy Land Cruiser for Tinubu, to buy Mercedes-Benz, to buy BMW, to buy this for his wife. You could not wait that you had to do supplementary budget. Innocent is there or you did not buy. Nod is there or you did not buy. Yet you are coming to tell us to buy made in Nigeria. Do you see your hypocrisy? Do you see your life in public? Your hypocrisy is so palpable, one can almost hold it. So Nigerians will just be laughing at you. Many of them may not be able to tell they are just laughing at you. It is just clear hypocrisy. Clear hypocrisy. And those are the things that we will stop. We must imbibe into the culture, into every member of this our new political party. Don't forget I said, suggest your names, so be a part of it. Whether you are a tomato seller, whether you are a mechanic, whether you are a panel beater, whether you are a driver, an Okada rider, you should be able to run for office. You should be able to contribute. So contribute right now, starting with your name. And if you have the capacity to contribute and pay your tithe, let's use that money to drive these solutions that we are pushing. This is the time for solution. Enough of all the complaining and all the crying. Enough of it. So part of the things that we put in the constitution of this our political party is the culture of production. We need to start engaging the creativity of our children. We should be teaching them computer-aided design and drafting, computer-aided manufacturing. From their primary schools, their heads can take it. And we should start teaching them to use lathe machines. In fact, computer-aided lathe machines. 3D printing, we should begin to teach them. A lot of the stuff that we import into Nigeria, we can produce here if we engage our children in the primary schools, in the secondary schools. We need to start teaching them production. We must start consuming what we produce, starting from the presidency. So we won't have a Tinubu administration that hypocritically tells us to buy made in Nigeria, and clearly the clothes they buy are imported. Look at the furniture in Aso Rock, imported. Look at their cars, imported. Phones, imported. Everything imported. They lead the way in importation, and yet they come back and tell us that we should buy Nigeria. What hypocrisy. Those are the kind of things that must stop. And those will be clearly put in the constitution of this our new party. It must be clearly stated. This is the time for us to take action. Today is April 1, 2024. Time for us to start to take action. We must begin the journey to a new Nigeria by taking practical steps. by taking practical steps. So that's what we're doing. Free food and social welfare law. Yes, we push that law. And while we're pushing the law, we have put the Royal Purple Bee Foundation account details in the description. Send your tithe and your offering into it so that we can use that money to provide food for the people. All these that I've explained now in the free food and social welfare law, we will start it immediately because people are hungry now. People are hungry now. And don't forget, I remember I said it, that all those politicians, celebrities, comedians, footballers, anybody that is a Nigerian, living in Nigeria or living outside of Nigeria, that decides that the best thing for him to buy, because he needs a car, the best thing for him to buy is a Lamborghini, is a Ferrari, is a Rolls Royce, is a Range Rover, Benz, BMW. Those people, they are enemies of Nigeria. You know why? Every single money that goes into buying these vehicles that I talked about, that money goes to creating unemployment in Nigeria by shipping the jobs to the countries where those cars are made. If you want to buy expensive car, buy Innocent, buy Nord. I don't have a problem with you. This is not about you driving an expensive car. There are beautiful, expensive looking Innocent vehicles that you can buy, or not vehicles that you can buy. Even if it's not more than 30% of it that is made in Nigeria now, the more we patronize them, the more they will begin to make those things in Nigeria. Yes. So those people who spend money to buy all those exotic cars, you look at the, and you see the annoying thing is that most of these politicians have the effrontery to begin to flaunt them. These artists, music artists, like Davido, they have the effrontery to begin to flaunt them. You see one hand, you see 6 chains. Each of those chains worth thousands of dollars. And they're supposed to, people that are supposed to be crying will be bragging about it. They'll be flaunting it. Unpatriotic elements. People who are not even Nigerians. Because the other day we heard Dino Melaye was in Dubai, advertising Dubai for Nigeria. And that kind of person is somebody who had been a senator, who wanted to be governor. How unpatriotic can you be? They'll be flaunting it. All those exotic cars, the money that goes into purchasing them, will grow the Nigerian economy if they were spent in Nigeria. So, part of our sources for the food that we are going to give to the poor people will be taxing those exotic cars. If the exotic car is 300 million, you will pay 300 million as tax. And we take that 300 million, we put it into the social welfare fund. Social welfare fund that will be created through the social welfare and free food law. We put it in there. Those people who are shipping in exotic wristwatches, we put it in there. Things that are exotic, that are useless, that are not made in Nigeria, that goes to put pressure on our naira, devaluing it against the dollar. We put those taxes. That's what they do in America. You go and host a show. All these shows that Davido and Co. hosts in America, in UK, the monies they make from O2 Arena, 50% of it goes to tax first. Then when they now want to spend the one that comes to them, the peanut of the money that was raised that comes to them. Many of you think that when they shut down O2 Arena, the whole money goes to them. No. The peanuts of those money, because 50% goes as tax, even sometimes even more than that, goes as tax. Then the show organizers, they will collect their own. Yeah? The record label for Davido, the record label for Whiskey, the record label for Burna Boy. Oh, you don't know there's record label that is pushing them. Those record label will collect their percentage. Then the remaining tertiary that gets to them, they will still not spend it to develop Nigeria. They will spend it to be buying expensive cars. Lamborghini, Bugatti, Rolls Royce. All of you celebrities that are buying those kind of cars, shame on you. Shame on you. With all the hunger and the poverty that exists in Nigeria, shame on all of you. But we won't just say shame. We will take action. Beginning from today, April 1, 2024, we'll take action. We'll tax it. Maybe you guys have money. No problem. We'll tax all those luxury items that are needless, that are causing problems for us in Nigeria. And you see, when they even buy these things, in addition to the fact that they are creating unemployment for us, they are also influencing us wrongly. Because what is the influence that these celebrities have on Nigeria? Apart from influencing us to become gay, and influencing us to drink and prostitute, influencing us to become oloshos, influencing us to buy vodka and buy alcohol, influencing us to gamble and do yahoo yahoo. Apart from those influence, what else are Nigerian celebrities influencing our youth to do? Nothing. All they do is contribute to making the conditions in Nigeria worse. No more. No more. Beginning from today, we'll tax them. And part of those tax will go into the social welfare fund that will be created in the social welfare and free food law. Support it. Support it. And while we work towards getting the National Assembly to pass that law, contribute your quota, pay your tithe and your offering into the account in the description below. Pay your tithe and offering. Because before they pass the law, and if they fail to pass it, before 2027, we need to kick them out. And before that time, people are hungry already. We need to get to feed these people, get them to see that it is government that is helping them, not corrupt politicians. It is crucial. It is crucial. It is crucial. It is crucial. And at this point, I'm calling on anybody that wants to jackpot, please don't jackpot. I know what the CEO of FP said. And there are people that I respect that have come to say that what he said is not true. Respectfully, I disagree with Aisha Yesufu. Respectfully, I disagree with Dele Farotimi. We should stay and fix our country. It is because people think they have an option to jackpot. That is why they don't give their all to fight for this country. That is why. In that battle of the European battle, where the general decided after they crossed the bridge, he broke that bridge and said that the bridge is broken. The only way back is if we win this war. They ended up winning that war. But if they had in their morale the alternative to run away, they would have run away, they would have lost. So this whole idea of jackpotting is counterproductive. Don't come and give me this crap about diaspora remittances. We have seen that majority of those diaspora remittances never get to Nigeria in the first place. We have seen. And even those that do get to Nigeria, what do we spend those diaspora remittances on? Follow the money, the problem will become evident. They spend it on buying building material to build house. That's the first thing. Majority of the people who do diaspora remittances is for their families over here in Nigeria to build houses for them. And to get those materials, building materials. Building materials are not made in Nigeria. They are imported. So that diaspora remittances, where has it gone? Out. The ones that don't buy building materials, they will buy car. Who makes cars? Out of Nigeria. The money goes out. So diaspora remittances is a hoax. These IMF and World Bank and World Trade Organization elites, they know what they are doing. We need to remain in Nigeria to fix Nigeria. I've said it before. If 100 people come out to come and vote, to engage in the system, if 100 million Nigerians come out, they will find it impossible to rig. Number one, because there will be a lot more people that are not buyable. And then there will be a lot more people for them to buy, and they don't want to spend their money to buy food. That's why you see them, they are spending 500 or 1,000 to buy food. So we need everybody to remain in Nigeria, and we need everybody to get involved. And we want to make it easy to get involved. That's why we are saying we must start a fresh political party. We must kick these people out. So much to say, but the message is clear. Two things. Number one, we have to enact the free food stamp and social welfare law. Yes, we have to. I've put a draft of it in the description. We have to force the National Assembly to pass that law. And if they fail to pass it, we have to make sure that we get in people that will pass that law in 2027 by registering a political party that will make the political space available to every Nigerian. But before those two things happen, we must feed the poor in our midst. We must begin to teach our youths and our children to be productive. And we need money for that. So, sending your tithe and offering. I've said it, don't pay your tithe and your offering to church anymore. Don't pay to mosque anymore. Pay to the account that you're seeing. And for now, pay to the account that you're seeing, the Royal Purple Bee Foundation account. Pay it into that account for now. After we succeed in passing the social welfare and free food law, that money, you will now be paying your tithe into the social welfare fund that will be created by that law. If you have any questions, direct the questions at me. If you have any contributions that will make whatever I've said better, send those contributions to me. But don't tell me it cannot be done, because I know that it can be done. Until I see you again very soon. It can be today, it can be tomorrow. But surely, as frequently as possible, you will hear from us. You will hear from us. Thank you. Don't forget to share this message. Don't forget to share it. Share it. Let's overwhelm the algorithm. God bless you.